Welcome back to Squawk Box. Time magazine out with its new list of 100 most influential people in artificial intelligence. Join us right now to break it down. Sam Jacobs is Time's editor-in-chief. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in. You do a lot of lists, but I didn't know that you were going to do one on AI. So let's start with, why did you do this?
Sure. This list is 2 years old. Time has always been about the people who shape the world, and we feel like the people who are working in AI are the people who are doing that today. So we're trying to bring our spirit and energy and try to help people understand who the people are behind this technological transformation. It can be an intimidating story, lots of players coming in and out, and so we're hoping that we can give people a guide to what's happening today, and hopefully by understanding these individuals, they'll have a sense of what's coming next in the future.
So people know the Sam Altmans of the world.
Sure.
And they know Jensen Huang and some others. But who are the people that you think are super important that nobody really knows about?
Well, I think you look at a company like OpenAI, right? Only 1,700 employees. They're out searching for a $100 billion valuation. There are people coming in and out of that company who are really changing that space. Someone like Ilya Sutskever, who just is out, right. And raised the company to $1 billion in a company that basically doesn't create anything yet. There's so much enthusiasm around the few minds and ideas, the engineers, the thinkers and researchers who are driving this type of change. And what we do at Time is also try to lift up the people who are holding those people accountable. So a list like the Time 100 AI will look at activists and artists who are saying, maybe we're going too fast. Maybe we need to think differently about the transformations that are happening.
Well, Ilya was one of those people, though. But who, of the activists, is there somebody that you think has great power?
I hope so. I think we also look at the regulators, right? I mean, we're seeing these models that are rising mostly in the U.S., but also in China and the EU. And I think at a place like California, where you see someone like Scott Wiener, a legislator who's pushing for change for regulation, someone on the Time 100 AI this year, could ultimately change the course of the direction of this technology.
Because his push and his regulations that he's pushing for in California get picked up much more broadly.
That's right. What happens there will happen everywhere in the world.
When you look at, you got Alexander Wang, Scale AI, of course. I say of course, but maybe people don't know the importance of effectively a business that's tagging all of this information.
Well, it's an entire ecosystem, right? I mean, we experience it maybe on our phones. You put a question into ChatGPT, but the amount of work and effort that takes in to create all of that is a huge endeavor. So someone like Alexander Wang is someone who's really powering a lot of this work that's happening.
Is there a sense of whether these guys are good guys or bad guys? Because it's pretty confusing from the outside looking through, trying to decide whether these people are doing what's best for society and what we need to have happen,
right,
or whether they're potentially doing some things that could wreak a lot of havoc.
I mean, the answer to that question is yes, right? So while we were preparing this list, I talked to both Sundar Pichai and Meredith Whittaker, former Google employee who now leads Signal, who's a huge critic of the fact that there's a massive amount of concentration. We're talking about 3 or 4 companies that are really creating this entire change. And I think one of the things that we try to measure in the list this year is the tie-up between these startups like Anthropic, like OpenAI, and these really big players. I think that's been a significant change over the last year.
But are these geniuses or evil geniuses, or do you make
it? It depends on who you ask. And I think we have to be open to the idea that this technology is going to transform our lives for better and for worse.
Let me go a different direction with you. You talked about the biggest AI players. OpenAI, obviously tied up with Microsoft, Anthropic, tied up in some ways with Amazon and with Google.
Sure.
Google, and we could go down the list. There is this hope that there are going to be smaller models that are not run by these big guys, that are going to be potentially even open source models. I was going to say, I don't see, this was actually, maybe I missed it, is Mark Zuckerberg, for example, on this list?
He is. And I think Meta is pioneering a different approach.
Right. And so this whole idea that there's going to be this
open,
that's
something IBM has talked about.
This open model, and that is going to create all of these sort of smaller players. And the question is, can any of those smaller players, you think, ever get at the success of the bigger players?
I don't think that we can answer that today, but I also think lots of these companies that today are giants once started as small players. We talked to a company like to Sundar Pichai at Google saying, well, no, we weren't first to this consumer-facing product. Of course, we always want to be first, but when you think about maps, you think about email, you think about the browser, Google has a dominant place in that. And so there are companies that are going to come and disrupt these players, and maybe the open model is one that's going to do that.
Back to Andrew's point of the small language models, too. I mean, you don't necessarily need, I wouldn't say a Porsche, but you don't need the greatest machine to be able to do some of the things that we're talking about. And if you can find ways to scale it down, you could save on the electricity needs that are out there, the computing needs that are out there. Not everybody needs the same entire plan of the universe.
And that's one of the things that we're trying to chart with this list is the people who are calling attention to some of the downstream impacts of that, whether it's to climate, to energy, to all of this data. Yeah, there's a huge ecosystem that sits behind what sits in your phone.
Last question for you. There's been this other push for all sorts of companies to describe themselves as AI companies in the same way that back in the late 90s, everybody was adding .com to their name. There's an argument to be made that a lot of companies are adding AI to their name, either in reality or in terms of how they describe themselves. How do you decipher today between a tech company and an AI company?
I think that's a good question, and for sure people are trying to, through earnings calls and through their representations to the market, say we are AI companies. But we're looking at the places where the rubber really hits the road and where companies are actually changing people's lives through the introduction of this technology. Okay,
here's the final question. How often does Benioff call you, look at a list like this and say, Mark Benioff, of course, who owns Time, and say, why are you putting that guy on the list? He doesn't deserve to be on the list. Or you totally missed it. So-and-so is so important that you got to pay attention to what's going on over there.
Well, I think we're lucky Mark is probably asleep right now on the West Coast. But Mark is an enthusiastic reader and champion of Time, and I hear lots from him. And he'll be very excited to see who's on this year's list.
Does he know ahead of time, or he
reads
it just like the rest of us?
Right.